What's up, y'all? I'm coming back at you. And I had talked about before God putting it on my heart to tell my testimony. And here it is. This is it. This is for all of y'all out there that are going through something, that been through something, or getting ready to go through something, and don't know how to get out. So I titled my testimony Ripped. And the reason I came up with that title is because what it did was, what happened is like my whole life, the way it was supposed to go, was ripped from me and shifted into this alternative life that led me to this moment right now, talking to you. So, it started when I was younger. My parents were functioning alcoholics, worked every day, house clean, kept us clean, kept us fed. Can't say I came from no just super poor, just life, but we wasn't super rich either, so it was all right. And didn't really know like where I kind of wanted to go with my life as I got older. When I was around 9, I started smoking weed at the age of 9 years old through my sister and her boyfriend. I basically I caught him smoking and said, "Hey, if you don't let me have none, I'm gonna tell mama on you." So that right there unleashed a whole nother part of my brain of thinking as a child. So I want to introduce this to all my friends. So I introduced marijuana to a lot of my friends who wasn't smoking, and I was the youngest out of 3 kids my mother had, and I think I had an old soul. I had older parents, so I had an old soul to where back then kids respected adults. So I had no problem respecting adults. All my parents, all my friends, parents, they liked me. I was cool, mannerable, you know. So, it was easy for me to kind of maneuver and get around into people's homes and influence your kids with marijuana. Kind of like it is today. Kids are doing it today, so. But a lot of them are just so disrespectful. It's unreal, but that's a whole nother story. But started smoking weed when I was 9. Smoked marijuana all the way up until I graduated high school. It was a miracle I graduated because I stayed high. And only time I stopped smoking is when my senior year is when I ran track. I was a track. I don't want to say star because I wasn't even all that. I was fast, but not that fast. But I was cool. And stopped smoking then because I had to. You can't run and smoke. Only one I know who do stuff like that, Michael Phelps, smoking weed and swimming, but I don't know how he does it. But anyway, so I had to chill out then, and then I pretty much picked it right back up after I graduated, after track season was over, and graduated high school. Made okay grades, but I was determined to graduate, because I was seeing a lot of my friends kind of like dropping out, leaving, getting expelled. And I was like, you know what, I've been going to school since preschool, and this is what I'm going to school for. So, graduated high school, great. Didn't really have any plans to go into college. Didn't have college in my sights. Didn't want to do college. Didn't want to do the army. I was like, I want to do what I want to do. So I started working. I've pretty much been working ever since. When I was about 19, 20 years old, we started. Got introduced to um, cocaine. Actually, introduced to it from my peers. I got introduced to it when I was about 16 through my brother. Um, we He lived on the West Coast. Went out there to visit, and didn't know really what was going on. I knew I love marijuana. I smoked a lot of weed, so he went to some. We went to some friends at his houses, and didn't know that I was going there for him to do a major drug deal. But it didn't look like a drug deal like I knew what drug deals looked like. It was more, let's come over, chill. They had a beautiful home. It was just like it was so player. It was like, hey, so comfortable. But they presented to me a couple lines of cocaine, and all I remember in the movies is like, just okay, it didn't really do too much to me. I was like, I'm not with that. But when I got introduced to it through my peers, when I was about 19 or 20, they kind of like tricked me into using. It was more like it was crack cocaine, and it wasn't. We didn't smoke it on pipes. We smoked it. We laced our marijuana joints with it. So I love marijuana. So my love for marijuana was so great. It was like, I'm not messing up my weed trying to do this. So I'm gonna just smoke my weed up, you know. So got introduced to it that way. It was cool. Liked it. The atmosphere was cool. And back then the cocaine was more. I don't know. I don't know if we were just younger and just getting into it, but it didn't make you do what it was making people do at the end in the late '90s or early mid '90s, late '90s. It's kind of more like, hey, we just smoked and go on about your business. But then gradually it started getting to you to where you want to do it more and more and more and more. So that was more of a, experimental thing, I thought, and then it turned into like a every weekend thing, and then it turned into like we smoking moles every day. You know, I had buddies that grind. I worked every day, so I got paid every week. You know, I had it going on. I hid it from everybody: my mother, my father, my sisters, and you know, my girl at the time. And after a while, classic story, shit just started unraveling. They start finding out. Money started coming up missing. Bills wasn't getting paid. Stuff wasn't happening. So things got kind of ugly. Went to a rehab center, and really it was a detox. And let me turn on some lights so y'all can see me here. I went to a detox facility, and that was cool. I thought I could just do that and it would be over, but didn't know the depths of what I was dealing with. Kind of jumped out of that, and just wasn't too long before I went back doing to what I was doing. Hiding, lying, doing what I wanted to do. So it kind of tore every relationship I had with people slowly. My mother instilled good qualities in us, but the drugs kind of just took over that to where we didn't It wasn't long to where I didn't even care. I was just I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? We doing our thing. You know. Um, so let's fast forward on up until I was about I don't know, probably about 28, 29. So now this is like 10 years of getting high. Yeah, around about 9 or 10 years, I guess. So I got into some trouble. You know, got locked up, possession of cocaine, did some drug rehab, did some drug counseling, probation, house arrest, the whole 9 yard. Got off all of that, got through all of that, chilled out, and like I need to get away from Indianapolis. So I decided to go to the worst place in America to go to with somebody who got a drug habit or got any kind of habit. And some friends of mine that I used to work with here lived in Las Vegas, Nevada, and they first they lived in Arizona and then they moved to Las Vegas. They was like, come on out to Vegas. It's beautiful, beautiful. Come on out here. Get away from Indianapolis. Indianapolis so slow, so small. Get out here, see something different, see the world. I'm like, well, I ain't got no money. So they was like, we'll send you a bus ticket. So they sent me a bus ticket. Took the Greyhound to Las Vegas. Didn't know nothing about Las Vegas. Ain't never been to Las Vegas. Only thing I know about Las Vegas is what I seen on the movies. But in my mind, it was so beautiful out in Las Vegas. Weather was beautiful. Palm trees everywhere. I'm like, I'm going to have a fresh start here. And I'm gonna get a job at one of these casinos, and I'm gonna just work hard, and that was it. No, that's not how it went. Got a job. First, I got a job at a fast food restaurant. Worked there for a couple weeks. Then I got a job at a hotel. Worked there, and I was a concierge, which I guess fit my personality because I do like taking care of people, like helping people out. But it was just it showed me that it don't matter where you go in this world, drugs are everywhere, and people that use drugs are everywhere. So it wasn't about moving from place to place to place. So people out there that's trying to just run from the drugs, you're gonna run, but you're gonna run right into it could be more drugs, or it could be people that use drugs even more around you. So it don't really matter where you go. I went out there and then I got that job at that hotel and it was all good. Everything was good. But my roommates, they smoke weed, and I still I smoke weed. Then I was like, I was kind of getting tired of weed because I was getting older and weed would just slowed me down. I'm sleepy. It was just making me tired. I'm like, I'm tired of being tired, so I knew it was drugs out there. I just knew it was because it just looked like it. And I ended up start smoking moles again out there in Las Vegas. And end up running into some people. I met a guy on the Greyhound bus. He was he talked about all this weed he sold and had lived out in Las Vegas. Met him in Chicago. So I had a plug on some weed. Then I met a guy that was from LA. He just kind of walked up to a group of us. We was just standing there getting drunk at a casino outside, and he just came up, was like, "What's up? What's your pleasure?" And I was looking at him like, "What you mean?" Because Las Vegas got a lot of weird sexual stuff. I'm like, "What you mean? What's your pleasure?" So he was like, "Nah, y'all smoke?" And we was like, "Yeah, we smoke weed, And he was like, "Well, I got all this." So he had everything: cocaine, crack, crystal, weed, pills. He had it all. So he was trying to corner the market in Las Vegas, just trying to shut it down. He moved from LA to there and wanted to shut it down, So I was like, well, damn, I need to be his buddy. He got all the connections. So it was just a matter of time before I gravitated towards that. The drugs in Las Vegas, it was just so prevalent, and there's so much money in Las Vegas. It's unreal amount of money